Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Skyrim. And as you may notice, I have some new changes to my armor. Ignore this. I'm not associated with this guild. I just like the armor. Looks good. This is usually what I wear, just looking around, because it's so perfect. Yep. So we'll just get through a list of my new stuff. Ebony weapons, basically. I do have this beautiful mace that is an artifact given to me by the orcs, basically, and it's just not as good as my sword, which is a just beautiful ebony great sword. Nazakgul. And we go up here to Acroma, my beautiful Daedric bow. Give you a couple ideas of what I have. Dawnbreaker. Halberad. It's my nice one-handed sword I use once in a while. And what we will be wearing today is a mix of all kinds of stuff. Croesus, a dragon priest mask, of which we will be going after right now. We have the glass armor still, but it's meh. I do have the boots of the old gods. It's some nice forsworn gifts for basically helping them get out of jail, because they helped me get out of jail too. But you know, this is kind of like my bow stuff, whereas what I'm wearing now is basically my two-handed sword stuff. Oh, wait. Yeah, two-handed sword stuff. It's also a mix of bow stuff, but that's really because I don't have two-handed sword stuff everywhere.
Evil stirs in this place. I fear for the security of the very land if it should break free.
What evil do you mean?
At the tomb of Hednor, who has been dead for many generations. I fear, however, that his return may be at hand.
My God. There must be a way to stop this.
While he regains strength, however, I am...
Well, we must end him once and for all, then.
I can barely contain his power, much less defeat him if he awakens.
Yep, living champion. Yeah, it's me, the Dovahkiin. Dragonborn. Then I will help you. What must be done?
Would do this? 3 vessels in the tomb below hold the power to vanquish Hednor. Before anything else, we need those. Bring them to me, but be careful, mortal. They are guarded by Hednor's minions. They will stop at nothing to see their master return.
I do kind of worry that he is one of his minions. Blah blah stuff I don't need to do right now. I found a bunch of those. Oh, I need to remember to do that sometime soon. We'll get back on the main quest. Basically, what I will be recording, you know, if you haven't already realized, I am level 43, by the way, quite a jump. But if you haven't already realized, I am recording only the most badass of quests. I did all the Mage Guild quests, which are just lackluster to me, but I don't know, maybe somebody enjoys them. I did the first Thieves Guild quest so I could get the armor, and that is it. I'm just not a bad guy, so I'm not gonna do Thieves Guild. I'm not a neutral guy either. So Thieves Guild I would consider neutral, whereas bad guy I would consider Dark Brotherhood. Not doing Dark Brotherhood either. And there's some other quests that I have that I'm just not completing because it's pretty evil. I'm a good guy. I just, you know, roughhoused some people for the Thieves Guild, so shouldn't even say that. I like persuaded them to pay their debts. That was literally it. Okay. So we have 3 vessels to go find. Oop. Goodbye. probably see my new ability, my running charge. It's pretty amazing. Oh. Lydia's getting hit by the traps because she is not smart enough to get around them. I've tried using other companions, but, you know... Oh, by the way, she has, like, full ebony armor. It's pretty amazing looking. I've tried other companions, but just wasn't the same without Lydia, because she's just badass. Oh, son of a... Are you kidding me? Oh. Usually you have to walk over something before a trapdoor works, I guess. Whatever. It makes sense. I looked right at it and I still didn't move, but whatever. Lydia is up there fighting on her own, and I get to open an expert lock. Alright. Here we go. Oh, nope. Ah, that's better. I have leveled lockpicking so much by just, you know, unlocking picks, but I have not picked a single talent in that. Come here, you Draugr White. White. So racist. Okay, where is... Let us go to our shouts, which you will notice I have a crap ton of, and pick Aura Whisper. There's some living bodies over there. There seems to be an animal. Where's Lydia? Oh! Pff. She popped up behind me. Ooh, I would take that. That's actually good for selling. It's very lightweight and, you know, has the thing. Oh. No vessel around here, I guess. Ooh. So many freaking lamps, I could just go walk. Withershins. Oh, restoration. Alright, said Kazgaga. What do you want? Why don't you want to talk? I don't know what letter that's supposed to be. A Z? And I'm just gonna guess this is supposed to be a Z, so... Zaki put down his mug of mead and just stared at his wife for a few seconds. Finally, grudgingly, because everything I have a conversation, darling. It flows in alphabetical order. Just like I told you, I think the only way to stop it is not to talk at all. Couldn't you just be imagining this, said Kazaga. Kazaga? Really? It wouldn't be the first time you had an insane paranoid delusion. Okay. Remember when you thought the royal battle mage of Blackmarsh was hiding behind every tree with lewd intent on making you, middle-aged, fat, balding Taylor, into his personal sex slave? You don't need to be ashamed, but it's Sheogorath's way to make us all a little crazy sometimes. Okay, so it is supposed to be Z. That's what I thought. If you go to the healer... Damn it, Kazaga! Snarled Zaki, and stomped out, slamming the door behind him. He nearly collided with Saishast, his neighbor. Excuse me, he said to Sagaki's back. He clamped his hands over his ear as he stormed down the street. Turning the corner to his tailor shop, his first customer was waiting out in front, smiling widely. Zaki tried to keep his temper under control and took out his keys, returning the customer's smile. Fine day, said the young man. Gods, hollered Zaki, sending the young man flying with a well-placed punch and dashing away. As much as he hated to admit that Kazaki was right, it was evidently time once again for one of the healer's herbal cocktails. Tarsu's temple to health, mental and physical, was several streets north, an impressive obelisk. Haki, the chief herbalist, met him before he came in the ball. Oh, hall. It's an H. How are you today, Saki? Saf? Saki Hoff. Saf. The heck? Sazaki Hoff. must be an Argonian. I need to make an appointment with Tarsu, said Zaki in his calmest voice. Just one moment. Let me see how the schedule looks. Halka said, looking over a scroll. Is this an emergency? Kind of, said Zaki, and slapped his head. Why couldn't he say yes or absolutely or sure? Let's see, said Halka, frowning. The best I can do is Midas. Would that work for you? Midas? Said Zaki. I'll be a complete psychotic by Midas. Isn't there anything earlier? He knew what the answer would be before she said it. Oh my goodness. There was no alternative. In a way, he had forced the response. If only he had kept the conversation going until why. No, said Halka. I'm sorry. Do you want me to make an appointment? Zaki walked away, gritting his teeth. He wandered the streets, his head down to avoid all conversations until he looked up and discovered that he had walked all the way to the wharf. A sweet breeze was blowing along the water, and he took several deep breaths until he felt almost normal. When his temper cooled, he could think again. What if his alphabetical conversation wasn't a delusion at all? What if what he felt wasn't paranoia, but acute awareness? He knew it was the classic dilemma. Am I crazy, or is there really something weird going on? Across the road was a shop called Paradox. Ah! 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 No. Featuring a display of herbs, crystals, and vapor trapped in orbs. The sign in the read mystical consultation, sunrise to noon. It was worth a shot, though Zaki was dubious. The only people who generally came down the wharf for healing were stupid adventurers who didn't know any better. Incense burned in copious billows in pink and gold, obscuring and then revealing the clutter within. Jijik death masks glowed down from the walls. Smoking censers hung by chains from the ceiling, and the floor was a maze of blood bookshelves. At a well-worn table in the back, a small man wearing a headdress was tabulating a young lady's purchases. Okay, said the man, your total comes to 57 gold pieces. I threw in the restorative scale conditioner for free. Just remember, the candle should be lit only after you invoke Goroflox the Unholy, and Mandrake Root does best in partial shade. The customer gave a quick, shy smile to Zaki and left the store. Please help me, said Zaki. I'm sorry. It just amuses me the way it keeps going. Every conversation I hear or get involved in seems to be arranged alphabetically. I don't know if I'm going insane or if there are some kind of bizarre forces at work. To be honest with you, I'm normally a skeptic when it comes to your type of business. But at the end of my rope, can you do anything to make this madness end? Quite a common problem. Actually, said the man, patting Zaki on the arm, when you get to the end of the alphabet, do conversations then go to reverse alphabetical order or start at the beginning of the alphabet? Reverse alphabetical order, said Zaki, and then corrected himself. Damn it! I mean, it starts from the beginning, all over again. I'm in agony. Can you call on the spirits and help me? Am I insane? Soriki, said the man with a reassuring smile. I don't have to. You're quite sane. Thank you, said Zaki, frowning. By the way, my name's Zaki, not Soraki. Unusually close, eh? And the man patting Zaki on the... My name's Octoplasm. My name's Octoplasm. My name is Octoplasm. Wouldn't you want your name to be Octoplasm? I think that is the stupidest name I've ever heard of. Please follow me. I think I have just what you need. Octoplasm. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay, Octoplasm led Zaki down the narrow corridor behind the desk. The two men pushed past dusty cabinets filled with strange creatures and liquids, past heaps of Neolithic stones, past stack after stack of moldering leather-bound books into the dank heart of the stall. There he picked up a small, squat, cylindrical drum and a book and handed them to Saki. Vampirism, Daedric possession, and Withershin therapy, said Saki, squinting his eyes to read the book in the gloom. What in oblivion does this have to do with me? I'm not a vampire. Look at this tan. And what's Withershin therapy, and how much will it cost me? Withershins, from the old Cyrillic Withershins, which means backwards. Octoplasm in a serious tone. It's the art of reversing the direction of things in order to gain access to the spirit world and break curses, cure vampirism, and trigger all manners of apotropaic. Apotropaic. That's an interesting word. I've never heard that one before. Apotropaic. Interesting. You know the story about the guy who was told that slaughterfish live in hot water, so he said, well, let's boil them in cold water. Xenophus, said Zaki, instinctively, his brother having taken a rather historic upper-level course in Cyrillic philosophy as an elective in the Imperial College 31 years before, and immediately wishing he hadn't. And what do you do with the cylindrical thingy? Oh, the cylindrical thingy. I was thinking Cyrillic again. Cylindrical, sorry. Octoplasm lit a candle and held the object over it so Zaki could see more clearly. All along the cylinder were narrow slits, and when Zaki peered within them, he saw a succession of old black and white drawings of a naked man leaping over boxes, one frame after the next. You spin it like so, said Octoplasm, slowly whirling the device clockwise, so the man within leapt over the boxes and over again. It's called a zoetrope. Pretty neat, eh? Now you take it and start spinning it counterclockwise, and while you're doing it, read this incantation I've marked in the book. Zaki took the zoetrope and began spinning it. Oh, I can just see how this is gonna end somehow. Okay, so the little naked man within seemed to bound backwards over the boxes. It took a little coordination and concentration to keep whirling at a steady pace, but gradually the man's awkward and jerky back jumps became more and more fluid until Zaki could no longer see the individual frames flipping. It looked just like a little humanoid hamster on an endless reverse treadmill. While he continued to spin the zoetrope with one hand, Zaki took the book in the other and read the underlined passage. Zoetrope, counterspin, 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 pull my life from the rut that it's in. I invoke the goddess Boeth. Oh God, this lady. Boethai. I don't know. Kinnereth and Drysis. Wow, Kinnereth too. That's some interesting mixes considering Daedric Prince, then Goddess, and whatever. To avert my potentially metaphysical crisis, my old life may have been rather pointless and plain, but I dislike the prospect of going insane. Make the pattern reverse by this Withershin. Zoetrope, counterspin, counterspin, counterspin. And as he chanted the spell, Zaki noticed that the little naked man in the zoetrope began to look more like himself. The mustache vanished and the hairline receded, the man's waistline expanded, and the buttocks sagged to the shape and texture of half-inflated balloons. Scales approximating his own Argonian pattern appeared. The man began to trip as he bounded backwards over the boxes, taking bigger breaths and sweating. By the time Zaki reached the end of the incantation, his twin was clutching his chest and trembling end over the boxes in a free fall. Octoplasm took the zoetrope and the book from Zaki's hand. Nothing seemed to have changed. No thunder had rumbled, no winged serpents had sprung out of Zaki's head, no fiery explosions. But Zaki felt that something was different. Good different. Normal. And at the counter, when Zaki pulled out his satchel of gold pieces, Octoplasm merely shook his head. Our treatment... Oh my god. Our treatment, radical such of effects, term long the what, sure be can't we, naturally charge no. Feeling the first real relief he had felt in days, Zaki walked backwards out of the shop and down the road to his shop. Oh my god. That is the first book I've, like, actually... oh my god. That was amazing, though. I think that's the first one I've read out loud to this, and it was so long, but it was so worth it. At least I think so.